impressive. Corey Friedman having taken over from Joe Toussaint in that Autometrics Porsche. And right now, Corey doing a superb job, leading the GT Cup Amfield, second in GT Cup overall. It's Andy Lee. Not a big surprise there, Cal, to have the 95 Tool Racing Porsche in the hands of one of the best drivers to ever set foot in a GTS car out front here.
Yeah, talking to drivers slipping through a net, we certainly hope that Andy Lee doesn't do that, because he is a great talent and has found a nice new home for himself. Great to see him back here on at least in the SprintX rounds. I mean, we'd love to see him here on full time, of course.
York Bergmeister now.
Traffic, and he'd actually eaten into the lead of the two leaders, and look how close it is up front.
Oh boy.
Mark Wilkins now is going to be under pressure from that Ferrari. He's got to try and stay cool here.
This is it, into wind up.
We mentioned on that last lap, Scarrow took a big chunk out of that lead on Mark Wilkins. I think Wilkins may have encountered traffic coming through these final couple of corners to create that. And this straightaway, this is where the Acura has it here this weekend. Solid 4 miles an hour most of the time over the Ferrari.
Up on the back of Jason Hart in that 47 Nola Sport car, both easily able to slide through. And Wilkins may be able to get a couple of car lengths back down that straight. But it's going to be interesting to see now what happens by the end of this lap. What happened on that lap in terms of time? Wow. Almost a half second quicker.
Yep, he's got pace. So despite that mistake, Ferrari got tires underneath him. It's a hot day here. You're trying to manage everything. A lot of teams are very concerned even about engine temperatures, Greg.
Yep.
And I spoke to the Ferrari boys there, the 31 team, and they said we worked on the car hard last night to make sure that all of the inlets and everything cooling wise was perfectly where it needed to be. Look at the different line there.
Yep.
Scarrow there, maybe he's probably thinking, well, Wilkins won't be watching this. Maybe I can surprise him with a move there. When he gets close enough into turn 6, what they call the right hook.
Up into the attitudes. Boy, Skeeto carries a lot of speed into that first attitude. It's down to 2 car lengths. And Skeeto, that Ferrari right now just looks to be stuck.
It really does. Mark just trying to hang on here. Both guys using kind of right on the verge of the track limits there. We saw the Ferrari kind of running over that margin a little bit earlier here.
Coming up in the back of the 95 Tool Porsche of Andy Lee. Andy's a very savvy driver. He knows just get out of this turn quickly, don't hold him up. And now here we go. And this is where you would think Wilkins would just gain a couple of car lengths back.
Yep.
Was that about 3/10 this lap that Skeeto
3/10 he took out of him, yeah. Could just come down to traffic. How do you catch him? Oh, Wilkins there. He wasn't sure of the language of the 95 car, if he'd seen him or not. He had to be careful. Just a slight delay there, and I think Scarrow didn't get delayed, so advantage the Ferrari once again.
Well, and that's one of the interesting bits of chess when you're up against this. You got a Pro-Am car in front of you, and you're not sure. At this stage, the pro's in it, but what quality pro is he? And it turns out it's Andy Lee, who's one of the best. So he opened the wheel up and let him come through. But yeah, you can see that little bit of indecision, couldn't you?
Yeah, well, if the Porsche suddenly came down, you're going to throw the race win away, or certainly a podium run there. So you can't just take it for granted. Look at that Ferrari, very different line.
Yeah, it is.
Probably relying on the ABS there to get it turned without locking up the fronts. But that could be his planned move, Greg. If he gets a little bit closer to Mark Wilkins, not a typical overtaking opportunity, but if he wedges it down the inside, there's a little bit of argy-bargy. Who knows what could happen?
Puts an Italian boot in it.
Things settle down once again, and you have to think about that aero effect. We talked about it earlier in this race. Now suddenly Scarrow is close enough. Look at him using all those curbs. I know that Brian Till has been all over these boys this weekend, and I've seen him do that a couple of times, so I would think that he's not that far away from an official warning. I think it was going to initially be just a chat from one of the pit lane officials. Look at Wilkins here hanging on. The Ferrari seems to be able to carve a different line right now in the late going. 5 minutes to go. Can Wilkins and Acura hang on for their first win of 2017? There's Peter Cox hanging over the wall, egging his boy on.
Any encouragement he can give, willing him through these final 5 minutes down into turn 1. Wilkins feeds it in. Skeeto, Bergmeister, 14 seconds back, and Skeeto just on the edge of adhesion there.
He is throwing everything at it right now, including the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
And I got a feeling, watching him earlier this year, if he gets close enough, Greg, he's going to go for it.
Yeah, he's an aggressive young guy. O'Connell is 4th, and he's opened up about 4 seconds over Dyer. So he's got a little bit of breathing room. Then there's 7 or almost 8 seconds back to the number 9 McLaren of Barnicoat, having taken over from Parent.
Yeah, looking at the lap times of these leaders, they're laying down the fastest laps of the race of anyone right now. Skiro had that look into turn 6. They call it the right hook. Could it be the knockout punch?
Exactly. Well, the interesting thing is you can see he loses a little bit coming out because he's turning in so early. But I think you're right.
Oh, Wilkins a little slip there. He's pushing hard. He knows that victory is on the line here. He's got to dig deep. Doesn't attack that curb quite as aggressively as the Ferrari.
Now let's see the line through this one and the use of the curb on the exit.
Again, the Ferrari's all the way over the white line. I'd hate to see this one get reversed with a penalty call, and essentially, Greg, is going to be if they do get that call. This is the tricky part to defend right here. The Ferrari wedges it down the inside. Mark Wilkins takes that inside line away. He has to. He's just got to work on the straightaway speed that the Acura has demonstrated here this weekend. Just don't open the door.
Here's Nathan Bonneau up on top of the box for the real-time Acura team. Okay, we're getting a report, Cal, and it makes sense. Next time by, white flag. So this lap and one more, and Wilkins has to survive the attack.
Well, he's done a really nice job. He's a really cool, calm, collected driver, Greg. Very rarely makes a mistake, but he is feeling the heat right here to get his first GT World Challenge victory. Had a number of wins for Kia in GTS, knocked on the door of a couple of championships, but this is another league right here, and he's doing a fine job so far. But that Ferrari is not going away.
No, every time Wilkins gets a little margin down that straight, the Ferrari closes it up. And see if Skeeto is once again looking at that line. It's almost like he's laying his own grip down there, getting some rubber down, cleaning the track off.
Love to think he's being that savvy, but maybe he is. Last time through there, Wilkins really slipped a little bit, looked more under control, platform underneath him that time through. Fascinating battle.
It is. Great stuff.
Love to get the debrief on this one as to in terms of what was going on with that Ferrari with the little errors. Peter Cox looks on.
He's nervous. You can see it. Skeeto now starts flashing the lights.
Tell you what, though, Wilkins has done a nice job. He hasn't wasted lap time by defending unnecessarily. This is where I think he's vulnerable. Right here, that Ferrari really seems to carve a different line.
Yeah, it does.
And he's just got to do what he's doing middle of the road there, because if he opens up that inside lane, we've seen it here before in Pirelli World Challenge competition. If you go for it, it typically ends up in tears.
All right, last lap, 1 to go. That's the margin, folks. Just to let you know, in GT Pro-Am, Jan Halen still leads it, but Mathieu Jaminet has been throwing down flyers and is close to within 6 seconds, and they were well back of that. Marco Seifried is a bit farther back, so there's a good two-car battle on his last lap there. And Cisneros has been able to gap Riggins here a bit and now leads comfortably in the Am category. But this battle, closest one by far, couple of car lengths, Cal.
You could say Mathieu is jamming.
Oh, boy. Hey? He always does, it seems.
Mark Wilkins.
That'd be really funny if he was French-Canadian. But he's just French.
Speaking of Canadians, the Canadian leading this race right now.
Doing a job.
And he's got that precious few car lengths to take the pressure off. You can see him there, though. He's really twitching. He is digging deep in the Acura. Someone's run wide there right in front of him. What does the Ferrari have in the final half lap as the real-time boys
They're interested.
look on?
Here we go. Ooh, wide a little bit for Mark. Got it to turn.
Oh, he is struggling for grip. He is struggling for grip. Here comes the Ferrari looking to the inside. Can Wilkins hang on? He's slipping.
So's
at
the
this slip, and
Ferrari.
here comes the Ferrari.
Down into clubhouse. Can he make the inside work? No, not
Wilkins
quite.
takes it in deep, no defensive driving, just took the regular racing lunges, took it in super deep. 2 corners to hang on to for victory.
And Mark knew what was coming. He kept it pinned to the apex there, Cal. Does it again here. It's a drag
He's
race.
slipping. It's going to be a drag race down this front straightaway. The Ferrari's right there.
Skeeto trying to gas it, can't do it. Acura gets its first win in Pirelli World Challenge. The altitude is high and the celebrations are equally so here. Utah Motorsports campus, the Canadian in the Japanese car in the Utah desert. What a story. Some good scrapping going on here in the Pro-Am, or the Am-Am and Pro-Am section of GT Cup. Corey Friedman in the number 90, hanging on at this stage over that number 10 Lamborghini. And here's your battle in the Pro-Am category, Jan Halen, and you can see that blue Porsche behind him.
Oh.
He is just flying. What the last lap, he made up almost 2 seconds on that last lap alone, Cal.
Yeah, just amazing. You got to think that Jan Halen is maybe managing this race, but Jaminet doesn't know that. He's got that carrot in front of him. He wants a win. He's digging deep.
He's got one more corner. Well, this one and then the final one release. And I think Halen, as you said, is managed it. He knows what he's got. Feeds that right motorsport Porsche throttle. And in the Pro-Am class, Porsches sweep the top 2 in Pro-Am here in SprintX at Utah Motorsports campus. What a great run for those two.
Oh, look at this.
Argy-bargy, as you said. They are side by
Last
Trent
couple of
Hinman.
corners.
That's Hinman inside the 09 of Derek DeBoer. And they're still touching and grinding, and it's DeBoer just barely coming through and picking up that one. Wow, fantastic for the GTS. That's the Pro-Am battle. Up front, though, the 47. What a great drive by Jason Hart in the 47. Was able to lead the entire GTS contingent through that NOLA Sport Porsche. So a good day for Porsche here. Certainly, but that's the story. Acura